Hello everyone. So a long time ago, almost a year ago now, when I first moved here without my partner at the beginning, I showed you this setup before, just quick because I was melting down some candle wax, and then at that time I told you that I would talk about it in another video. So that was in one of my my Gothic home transformation videos, yeah. But now I'm actually gonna talk about it today. So this is my setup. It is an electric stove that I bought, and I used it whenever I was homeless and lived in a tent for 2 months whenever I moved from home. And I moved like 300 kilometers away, so I couldn't just take the bus or the train to wherever I was studying. So I lived in a tent until I got a little apartment to live in. But that is some years ago now. And after that, I took this stove and dedicated it to melting wax and reusing it to make new candles just for myself. Yes, so this is one of my hobbies that I really like. I like reusing whatever I can, and whatever I cannot reuse myself, I will reuse for whatever the system is here where I live in the city. We need to reuse plastics and some metals and glass and paper, but candle I can reuse myself. Candle wax, yeah. So whenever I get scraps, I collect them, like old candles and such, and then I put them in bags like these just to keep the different types of wax together or apart from each other, so that it, like paraffinium and styrene, doesn't get mixed, just because I like to get that separate if I can. And then also the colors, so that I can make different colors of candles, because if I mixed it all, it will just get black or brown or something like that, and well, that's not exciting. So in here I have like small scraps, and then I collect, and I also actually have my family and friends. Some of them are also dedicating or giving me some of their scraps of candle wax, especially after Christmas, and that is so nice. Because that's a time where a lot of people here in Denmark use a lot of candles. But actually, like, I really love candles. At one point I had like 100 candles here at home, not burning at one time, no, but I had them stored for whenever I needed a candle. And my partner said, "Oh no, you have way too many candles," because I was buying them whenever we got out in the store shopping for groceries. I also bought candles, and well, you don't need to have more than 100 at home that has not been burned yet. So that was also where I really remembered that I also had a lot of wax that I needed to make candles of. And now that is like 3 years ago, and I have used all of my candles that I had stored, and I've used all of the candle wax that I did make into new candles. And in the meantime, I have had like a new bunch of candle wax stored to be melted down. And what I do is, like these here, I've just gone through them. I don't think there's enough to melt them just right away, because what I do is that I melt it in this form, just because it's nice and square, so when I have a lot of them, they are easy to store. And then I have, like, I was just messy and a lot of wax got on this, so I just had to wipe it off whenever it was still hot enough, or else it will smoke a lot, and that's not good. So that needs to get in the trash. But this here is for me not burning my hands whenever I take it off the stove. This is one that I have just melted before the other one there. That is cooling down. This was from a big outdoor candle. So I have melted it down in 2 times now, and I have to do it one more time. But unfortunately it was so messed up that I couldn't get these notes out of what it was just before I melted it. I usually try and get it out before I melt it down, because else now it's like in there, but this is just for storing. I can get it out at a later time. And then I have like these squares, and they are much more easy to store in a box than like these stuff. It's like more, you have so many edges, and it takes a lot of space to store that. Also these are ready to be melted down as well. And I also have big candles in here, if you can see. Like, there's one of the big black candles that I need to melt down and such. Because it was a bad candle, or it was storming when it was lit, so the wire in it, or the, what do you call it? Yeah, I will just call it a wire for now. I can't remember the name of the burning stick in it. But that was like all wrong for the size of the candle. It didn't burn the wax, it just burned the wire, and then it got drowned in all the wood, the melted wax in the candle. So I need to melt it down again and make new candles. And the purple ones are actually some of the first candles I've ever made. And I made the same mistake, like the wax. Oh, the wick! Yes, it's called the wick. So the wick was like not big enough or something like that for it to burn properly, because this is quite a big candle. So I need to make like 2 wicks in such a big candle next time for it to burn more properly. Yeah, and then it also was out in the sun, so it melted and got screwed, and I just need to make a new and better candle of this. But that's the fun part of this. You try stuff, and then you find out how it works, and then you just need to do it again. Yeah, that's what a hobby is. Yes, but then over here I have lots and lots and lots of those types of melted down wax you see here. So I have quite a lot, and I have them in boxes of different types of wax. So this is some kind of special wax, it says. So it's some kind of paraffinium, I think, mixed with something else. It's not styrene. And this over here is the same kind of wax, but this is also like even more mixed with other types of wax that I don't know what is. And I have like so many, and I like to color coordinate whenever I pack them up, also because it's good for whenever I need to make candles, and I can find, oh, all my black wax is here, so it's much more easy to make black candles and such like that. So that's like, makes sense, yeah. And I have more down there, and I have a lot of white styrene in that box down there. I think it's that one, maybe, or else, no, maybe not. It seems like there's some red down there as well. I actually think I have another bag for all of my styrene, because I haven't made candles of it yet. And so today I want to melt down more of these plaques, and I have all of that there that needs melted down, and I have this here, and I also have, this is like from the big candle that is there and there, and so I just need to make one more with this in that one, and then I have 3 plaques of wax just of this one candle. So yeah, there's a lot to be done. And then when I have done that, I need in the meantime to go out in our shed in the garage to find my other equipment with, like, what is it called, all the pots I have dedicated for this, because I need to water boil it. And what I actually, whenever you dedicate a stove for waxing, I would really recommend having like such one that you can take up whenever you need it and then pack it away, because if you use your kitchen you will get candle wax everywhere, and you see it here still, and it smells whenever you use it again, and you need to, if it's wedge of wax, you need to remove that, and I recommend doing that with pieces of paper when it's still hot, so that you can easily wipe it off. Because it's not good when it's burning, then it's smoking a lot if it's on the stove, and there's a lot of residue, and everybody knows that candle wax is very hard to get rid of, or everyone who loves candles knows that, I think, because everyone's tried to get candle wax everywhere on the living table or something like that. Yeah. So I really recommend you finding stuff that you will not be using for anything else than your candle wax hobby, yeah, or projects. But then how I do it is that I have water, like a centimeter of water or 1.5 centimeters of water in this small container, and then I put it up there and put this one to 2. It can go up to 5, but only at 2. It should be a very low heat, because you will not want your wax to boil. I don't want that. I find it will smell much more. It can begin to, what is it called? It will be smoking. It can be smoking, and the wax will be weird, and it can change color to a darker and more messy color. If it's a green or blue color, it will be brown or black afterwards. I don't find it good, and it smells wrong, so that's why I don't do it. I will just say that I have no expertise in these things. I have just been watching other videos about how to make your own candles. So if you really want an expertise advice on doing this, then you should look elsewhere, because I don't know how to do candles for selling or reselling. I don't know how to do that. This is just for myself, because I like to do it and I like to reuse it. But some of the fumes of this is probably not so good. So that is why, and I also don't have like any means of how to tell you just yet how my wick is the best and how it will burn the best and such. So all of my candles burn differently. Like some candles I have burn in 7 hours, or some I have at the same size and everything will burn in 2 hours. So I'm still learning. It's a process, okay? Bear with me. But I will just tell you that. But then I put the wax in immediately. I can show you whenever this is hardened. I can show you how I do it. And then I waited for it to completely melt, and then I shut this off again. And then I take it away for it to cool down. And I will not recommend, like, I will recommend having like a window or a door open up to the outside, so that you can get the fumes away, and so that, because it will smell a little bit, and you are like, just as whenever you're burning candles, a lot of fumes gets in the air, a lot of perfume and stuff. It's not really good for you to inhale way too much of, so remember to get some fresh air inside whenever you do it. But I will not recommend you like having it freezing like in a fridge, because then the wax will just cool down way too fast, and that will also deteriorate or make the wax weird, and it will get holes in it, like then it will get a hole in the middle. And if you pour candles and you do it where it gets hardened too fast because you put it in a fridge or too close to the window or something like that, you will get a hole at the bottom, that you then need to refill again. And that you can be doing a lot of times when you cool it down too fast, so I will not recommend that. But yeah, this is the beginning. I will get back whenever this is hardened. Okay, so now I have moved the setup a bit more over to our garden door so that I can easily get fresh air in, because the fumes are a bit too much for me and my partner, and we need to remember to have that fresh air. And now I have done like 3 or is it 4? No, 4 blocks already. Well, this project really needs patience, so that's why you need to look over it whenever you are melting the wax, and then afterwards you need to wait for it to harden, and then you can do a lot of other stuff. Sometimes it takes 20 minutes for like a little one to harden, like this one, and other times it takes like 2 hours for a big one to settle down before you can get it out. Yeah, so but now I have like a little bit of water in here, as you can see, and then I have these from tea lights, small candle lights. So let me just put them in. Good, so now that's all in, and let us just turn this on and let's watch it melt. So now it has all melted, and you see all of the metal parts has fallen down at the bottom. So whenever I take it up, they should not be attached to the wax. But now we will only have to wait for it to harden, and then I will show you how I take it up. So now it looks much more hardened. Like, it isn't see-through anymore or clear, it is white. And if I touch it, now I will show you how I get it out. Because I have the water underneath, when I melt the wax floats up on the top, and then it hardens on the top. So when it's hard enough, I can just push it. Just try, yes. It didn't take much. Just pushed it a little bit. And to do this, you need to wait till it's almost completely hard or completely hard. And then you can see those went to the bottom. Now these had some wicks in it, so I should be able to just pull them out like that. And then before I make the next one melting, I will need to take all of the metal parts out, and then new water, like for every second batch of this that I melt, I change the water just to have fresh, nice water, so that it doesn't have too much of, you see all of the black stuff and such from the wicks. So it doesn't have too much of that. And you also see here, this was actually very dirty. And that is from the wicks. But when I make the candles, I will melt this down again. And then from pouring into the candle molding, there I will have like a kind of filter, like it's a metal net, what you call it. It's a kind of filter where I catch most or some or most of the dirty stuff. Yeah, so that it will not all get in my candles. They are not perfectly clean when I do it because it's not a paper filter, because I tried that with like a coffee filter, and when I did that it got like it was too small a hole, so the wax seemed to harden more or too fast, so that it wouldn't run down into the candle mold. So I couldn't do that. So I have like metal sieve, small metal sieve that I use, and it catches a lot. So that's fine for me. Yeah. But I will get back to this, and then probably tomorrow. Yeah, I think this video will be 2 days long. Tomorrow I will be ready to begin making the actual candles. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm at it again, melting some more candles. But if you look at it, you see some smoke, and I only have that over there turned on, but the smoke is coming from here. Take a look, right there and over there. This one is cold, it's not hot, so it's coming from underneath my stove. And look, it has fallen a little bit apart there. So maybe this stove is getting too old. I have been using it a lot, I must say so, and it is old, so I might think that is the last ones that I will be melting, and then I need to get a new stove. Yeah. So maybe you won't be seeing me making candles tomorrow because I need to order a new stove. Yeah, I think I need to do that. This smells too much, way too much. It doesn't normally smell like this. It's not that bad normally. Yeah. So that is what I need to do. Well, at least you've seen my process of how I'm storing all of my wax, and now that's good. Now I can store this for the time until I get a new stove. Yes. But thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.